Have you ever set fire to something with a magnifying glass before? If you're a little boy, or you ever were one at one point in your life, you have done this. Little boys love to do this trick when they figure out that they can take a magnifying glass and use the sun's rays and set things on fire, grass or ants or whatever. And it's a really important lesson because it teaches us about the power of focus. You know, when you take the sun's rays and they hit you, it can burn, but it takes 15, 20, 30 minutes. Now with, our environment being the way it is, that time gets shorter and shorter, but nothing's gonna catch fire. But when you take a magnifying glass and take that same exact light, that same exact heat source, and you focus it on a single point, it can smoke and eventually burn, and it doesn't take very much time at all. Focus is an incredibly powerful tool, and it's one that most of us never harness because we don't understand how powerful it is and how important it is. And in today's world where we are distracted by a million things, focus becomes that much more important. We live in an age of perpetual distraction, right? We're bouncing around from one thing to another. We have our phones beeping at us constantly. Many of us, myself included, can be guilty sometimes of just walking around with that thing in our hand all the time. And if you've got it beeping and buzzing and calling you all the time, it's impossible to get anything done. One of the things I have done over the last decade is I've studied people who are incredibly successful. Entrepreneurs, CEOs, people who head nonprofits, people who have achieved a success in any realm, athletes, whatever it is. And one of the common traits that they all share is their ability to focus. Their ability to block everything out that doesn't matter except for the thing that matters most, and working on that until it gets done. If you talk to elite athletes, they'll often refer to something called the zone. I was just in the zone. You've heard that expression. Well, all that really means is I was focused. I was intensely focused. In fact, it's interesting. I was watching a baseball game the other night, and the pitcher talked about how when he is on the mound, he sees nothing but the catcher's glove. I mean, there's tens of thousands of fans screaming around him. There's obviously players all over the place. There's the umpire, there's the park, there's, birds or whatever's flying around inside, all that kind of stuff. He sees none of that. All he sees is the catcher's glove. Imagine having that kind of focus. Here's the thing, you can. Focus isn't a gift. It isn't a natural ability. It's a learned skill. It's something that we practice. And it's one of the skills that you need to acquire if you don't already have it. Because once you get good at being focused, you can achieve more in less time. You'll get more out of relationships. You'll be more successful. You'll be healthier. You'll be happier. So my invitation to you is to study focus, to learn more about it, to figure out how can I be as focused as possible, and then create your focus. What is it the thing that matters most to you? What is your number one priority? And I'd invite you to actually take your life and kind of subdivide it into categories. So if I were to suggest something, I'd say, let's go with 5 or 6 different categories. You're going to say family and friends, so relationships, health, wellness, so my physical well-being, work, what am I trying to do in my career, finances, where am I financially, where do I want to be, etc. And spirituality, what's my faith background, what do I want to achieve in my faith life, whatever that looks like for you. So you divide it, you might have a few more categories that you want to add, and that's fine. But you get these categories of your life. And then you pick one thing, not 8, one. One thing in each of those categories that's going to be your focus. Okay, so for example, in health and well-being, well, that can encompass a whole lot of stuff, right? It can be how well do I eat? What am I eating? How often am I eating? How much am I sleeping? Am I sleeping enough? Am I sleeping the right way? Am I getting enough exercise? Am I getting too much exercise? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Pick one thing. So it might be I am going to exercise for 30 minutes in some form every single day. That's my focus. That's my one thing that I'm working on. So pick that one thing for each of the categories in your life and then get to work. And get to work on that one thing and only that thing. And here's the hard part, cut out everything else. I mean, eliminate everything that is not directly taking you toward that one focus. Everything that isn't part of that one goal, eliminate it. Because it's a distraction. It's not important. It doesn't mean it isn't good. It doesn't mean it isn't something you may want to do later. It means right now, it's not part of the plan. Where there are only a few finite resources in your life, time is the biggest one. We all get the same amount of time. Why is it that some people seem to be able to get way more done than other people? Because they're focused. And so they can use their time more effectively because they're working on one thing, not on 8 things at the same time. Now, you've probably heard about multitasking, and you've met people who say they can do 3 things at the same time. They're wrong. Psychological research has been done and proven beyond a shadow of a doubt we can't multitask. Our brains are not capable of doing it. Now, you may be doing 2 things at the same time, but what you're really doing is switching very quickly between one thing and another thing. So you can say, well, I can check email and talk on the phone at the same time. Well, actually, what your brain is doing is it's either reading the email, writing the email, or it's listening to the person on the phone or talking to the person on the phone. It's not doing both at the same time. It might happen really quickly and feel like it is, but it's not. So you're fooling yourself if you think you can do more than one thing at a time, and you're not doing yourself or the people around you any favors by trying. So you need to get super disciplined. You may need to set some rules, some structures in place in your life so that you can stay focused on the thing that matters most. So that might look like turning your phone off when you walk through the door at home so that you can focus on your family instead of focusing on your email. It might mean that when you're in the office in the morning, you close the door, you turn off the phone, you close the email program, and you focus only on the one project you have to work on for the first couple of hours of the day. There are lots and lots and lots of ways that you can do this. But the important thing is just to understand that focusing is going to make you so much more effective, it'll blow your mind. So that's my invitation to you. Look through your life, look through your day. Ask yourself, where am I losing ground? Where am I distracted? Where am I trying to do 4 things at the same time? And how can I eliminate the distractions so that I focus on the thing that matters most? Share your tips and tricks for staying focused with us in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you do, how you shut out distractions, how you eliminate the noise in your life so that you can get things done. And until next time, remember, don't live every day like it's your last day. Just be alive every day. Hey guys, this is Mark. Thank you for watching that video. Do me a favor, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button there you see. And that way you will be instantly notified every time I put out a new video like this. You can also share it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you hang out, and let your friends know that they can be watching videos on this channel absolutely free as well. And as a thank you for doing that, I want to give you a special gift. I wrote a book a few years ago called Live Life from the Heart, 52 Weeks to a Life of Passion and Purpose. It is a guidebook to help you live a passion-filled life. And I've sold thousands of copies of that book. I still sell it to this day on my website and after events, but I want to give it to you as my personal thank you for having watched this video. All you have to do to get it is click the link you see right there on the screen, and it will bring you to the page where you can download the book for free right now. So go ahead and click the link, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.